What's going on, guys? LitlMikey here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a long-awaited video that I have just not gotten around to, but I'm finally making now. It's all the commands that you can enter into the Commands.DAT file in your Untitled server. So, in a couple videos ago, we made a server, and then we forwarded it, and so now we're going to be making it so you can put some really cool commands into your server. We're also going to do commands that you can put into the CMD, and in-game commands that you can do while you're on admin duty or whatever. So first, you're going to want to right-click, go to Properties, Local Files, Browse Local Files, and you'll get this window. If you remember, you go into your servers, and then you have your server that you whatever you named it, and you go into your server and use your Commands.dat. If it automatically doesn't open up into Notepad, what you do is you right-click, click Open With, and then choose Notepad or Notepad++, whatever you want to do. But under recommended programs, it's most likely going to be Notepad. So after you do that, you'll get a box like this. You probably will have that in there. And yeah, so for the first thing, these are just going to be commands that get your server up and running. So first, you have your name command. This will just be the name of your server on the entire world list or whatever. I'm just gonna do LitlMikey's server. Okay. Next. Next is the map. So there was recently. So you could either choose PEI, not PEO, PEI. You could do Yukon if you want, or there's the Washington map, which in that case you would just type in the name of Washington. You know what I mean. And yeah, so for this instance, I'm just going to put in PEI. Next, you have your port, 27015. Oh, and if you want, you can put on a password. You can make it 123, whatever you want, just remember it. Or if you don't want a password at all, you just erase password and just don't put it in. It'll default with no password. But for this instance, I'm just going to put in password of 123 just to show you guys that works. Next, we got some other stuff that you can just add into your server to make it more customized. So next you have your mode. So for this, you can either do normal, hard, or gold. You just type whatever one you want. For this instance, I'm just going to put normal. If you wanted hard, you just type in hard or gold. But for this instance, I'm just going to do normal. Next, you have your perspective. So you can lock your players in your server to a certain perspective if you wish to do that. You can either do first person, third person, or both if you want them to be able to switch freely. So you put in perspective. Make sure you spell it right, because otherwise it won't work. And then you either put first, third, or both. I'm going to do both for this instance. Next, you have your max players. Now, just keep in mind, these can be in any order that you want. I don't necessarily have to be in this order. But for max players, you can have a max of 24 players, not 42, 24 players on a server. I'm not sure if you go higher than that, or if it'll just default to 24, give you an error. I'm not exactly sure, but this instance, I'm going to do 24. Next, you have PvP or PvE. PvE is obviously player versus environment, and PvP is player versus player, so you can hurt each other. I'm going to do PvP because I honestly think PvP is more fun. I was about to say funner, more fun. But yeah, next we have the timeout command. So if any players in your server have a ping of whatever the value you put after their timeout, they will be kicked. That way your server will be run faster. So you can do 500, that's a limit, or you can do 1,000 if they're really having problems, but you can do whatever you want. I'm just going to set it to 500 because I think 500 is a good number to keep your server running. Yeah. Next, you have your chat rate. So this is the amount of time between players on your server, how fast they can chat to prevent spam and stuff. So you could be really mean and put sometime 600 or something like that for seconds. Or you could do 2 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever you want. That way you can just prevent spam. I'm going to do 2 seconds because I think that's good. Next we have cycle. So basically what this is how fast it switches between day and night, or how long a day is inside of Unturned. So basically what you could do here is if you wanted 5-minute day and a 5-minute night, so a 10 minutes in all, this is in seconds, so you could do 600 for 10 minutes. You could do 86,400 for a 24-hour day, or whatever, but you could set it to something simple like 600 for a 10-minute day, but I'm not exactly sure what it's defaulted to, so if you don't want to mess with that, you don't have to. Just delete it. I'm going to do 600 second day, yeah. Next, we have the welcome command. Basically, what this is when a player joins your server, it'll give them a little message that says welcome or whatever you want it to say. So, for instance, we're gonna write welcome to LitlMikey's server, and then if you put a slash, you can choose what color you put in the values for the RGB values of what the color that text could be. So I know 255140 is orange, and I like orange. Orange is my favorite color, if you didn't know that. That's about it for the Commands.DAT, and then make sure when you're done you do save, and then you can close that out, and then make sure you run your server and make sure there's no errors. Alright, let's see. Okay. Password, port, game mode, perspective, next players, timeout, chat rate, cycle. Looks like we're good. Looks like we're all good. Now if you really want to just whoops. It looks like everything's good. So now we're just gonna test that out by hopping in game right here. Connect to our server just to make sure everything's all good and not bad. Alright, it says connecting on LitlMikey server, so you see the name, and up in the top, as you can see, it says welcome to LitlMikey server in orange. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're gonna go into our CMD and do some commands there. So first off, I know all of you want to know how to admin yourself. So if it's your own server, it doesn't have to be your own server. You just have to get into this box right here. You type in admin, and then you type in the username or player ID. For this instance, I'm going to do LitlMikey. And you don't need to type the whole name, but it'll admin your player ID. That is my player ID. It's personal to me, and it's very long. So next, we have permit. So if you type in permit, basically what this means is it turns your server into a whitelist. For this command, you can only put in the Steam ID. So for instance, I'd have to put in 76561198 and the rest of it for my Steam ID. And then it turns into whitelist. And then if you want any other players to join, you have to put in their Steam IDs, which gets kind of confusing. Next, if you want to see if there are any permits, you type in permits, and it'll show you what permits and players there are. But since I haven't permitted anybody, it failed to find. Okay, so next we have the debug command. So basically, what this does is it shows your public IP address and your port. I'm obviously not showing you because it's my public IP address, but yeah, and if you wanted to, you could calculate all these numbers if you really wanted to, which I can't do. But yeah, I think this is the most useful for finding your public IP address and the port that your server is being hosted on. Next, you could do the command help. I don't recommend typing this in because it gives you a huge list of stuff, and that's kind of the point of why I'm doing this video, because I'm showing you everything that help command will show you. But if you type in help and then something after that, like that, if you want help, let's say for port or welcome, it'll say this is a welcome message shown to clients as they connect. As you can see, that's how that works. Next, we have the command players. Basically, what this does is it shows all of the players that are currently connected to your server. This is awesome if you want to find out player names or player IDs, if you want to like do some stuff with their player IDs or like add them or something like that. I don't know. You can use that however you want, but that's what the players command is for. Next, we have save. Basically, you want to do this whenever you're about to close it. Do not press the tempting X button in the corner. That will make your server crash, and it's not good because it will not save. So if you're building a base or building something big, I recommend saving whenever you're done. And next you have shutdown, which basically will shut down the server. You can also do this in-game, but I'm not going to do that right now in the box because I'm trying to. I'm going to show you the rest of the commands in-game. So let's hop right into there. Alrighty, now that we are in-game, there's a good amount of commands. Any of these commands that I'm typing in-game can be typed into the CMD, but without the @ sign. So whenever you type a command into the actual game, you always put the @ sign. And as you can see, I have like the blue text box and everything because I am indeed admin when I admin myself. If you look, see, I am now an admin. So if you type @kick, basically you put @kick space player name. Let's do like poopy head, for example. I don't know. I can't come up with anything. And then you can put in another slash and do the reason. So stop being poopy. And then that'll kick poopy from the server. This is a very, very tame command, because all they could do is they could just rejoin, and that's about it. Now, if you wanted to, you can actually ban somebody. So do @ban, username poopyhead, do slash, then this is the amount of time. So this is in seconds. So if you wanted to ban them for a whole 24 hours, you could do 86,400 seconds. That it's for a whole day if you wanted to. But then you could do slash reason, stop being poopy or something. Or, you know what I mean. Just stop. And then it'll ban them for the amount of time and tell them why. And they won't be able to come back on until that time is up. Now, this is the most harsh command for getting rid of hackers or stuff like that. The @slay command. So basically what this does is you type in the username, poopyhead, and then it will slay them, it will kill them in the server, then they won't be able to choose either to respawn or go to home. They will have to leave, and they can never come back. Ever. Unless you want them to come back, obviously, by doing another command. But, yeah, this is mainly left for hackers as a last result, and then you can also put a reason, if you wanted to. But, you know, this is very harsh command. Next, if, let's say, you have slayed somebody or banned somebody, you can put unban, ban, wow, I had to actually look, and, put in their, this can only work with their Steam ID, so you have to put in some Steam ID, and then, type in, like, and then click enter. So let's say, like, that's a Steam ID, and then click that, and then they will be unbanned, or unslayed, so they will be able to join again. And then, next we have unpermit. Basically, what this does is it unpermits somebody. Let's say you permitted a friend to go on, and they, like, got really mad at you, and they're destroying your stuff. You just put in their Steam ID. It kicks the person in game, and then they can't join again because it's a permanent server. Next, you also have unadmin. You can put in a username, for instance. We could use poopyhead. Let's say poopyhead is admin. We can unadmin poopyhead. You can put in their Steam ID or their username or Steam ID, and then it'll kick them, and they will have to rejoin. Next, we have a bunch of basic commands like @time, day, @time, night. Oh Jesus! Oh no, no, no! @day. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, that was a full moon. If you didn't realize, yeah, that could have been very, very bad. Next, you can also do like @time 100 is really early, and then you can do like @time 300 is, well, 3, and then you can do @time 1200, which is noon, and then @time 2300, which is sundown. Right there it is, right there. I'm just gonna change it back to day for the purpose of this video, and I believe day changes it to 300, and night, well, you saw what happened with night. Next, we have a very fancy one. I just said fancy. It's the @loadout. So basically, what this does is whenever somebody joins your server, if you have a loadout, they will get a bunch of stuff. Like, for instance, have you ever joined a server where when you spawn in, you immediately get stuff? That's what they've done. They've enabled the loadout command on their server, which can be nice. So, for instance, if you type in @loadout, then you have to put all the item IDs. So let's do like an eagle fire and a few drums, or a few bags, and you can do that, whatever you want. And then, so basically, if you do that, it'll set the loadout. So if we kill ourselves, we will respawn with an eagle fire and a few mags. Next, we have the save command I told you. This will just save the game. So if you look right there, it says successfully saved the game. Next, we have the @shutdown command. If I were to click enter, it would shut down the server and let me leave. It would also save the game at the same time. After that, we have the @teleport command. You do @username, so let's do my username, and then you could do, like, for instance, Stratford. And boom, now I am at Stratford. And obviously, if you wanted to, because you have to be admin to do, like, the time command, and basically you have to be admin to do any of these commands that I'm telling you right now. If you are admin, you can actually teleport a player. So let's do poopyhead. You could do poopyhead to LitlMikey. You could teleport him to me, or me to him. You can do it however you want. The first person is the player you want to teleport. The second person is the target where that person is going to go. Next, you have the @give command. I think we've seen this before. You type in @give username, and then you do slash, and then you do the item ID. For example, let's just do a blunt force, which is 112. And now if we click enter, you see a blunt force has spawned, and I don't have any space in my inventory, that's why it spawned on the ground. And last but not least, we have the @experience command. You type in @experience space username, and then you do slash, and the amount of experience you want for this instance, I'm just going to do 1 with a lot of zeros. Actually, let's just do that much. Click enter, and then you can see at the bottom of your screen it says 1. I think that was 100,000 experience. And then you can like upgrade all of your skills like a ton if you really wish to do that, which is kind of nice because whenever you're playing on a server, if you want to have the edge on somebody but you don't want to be super mean, you can upgrade all your skills. Lastly, but definitely not least, I'm going to show you the shutdown command. Actually, hold on, let me get some of these zombies off of me. Now that we got all those guys off of me, we're gonna do @save. You don't have to do this before, but if you fear that your server might crash, you can always do @save whenever you're building something big. Or, whoops, you could do @shutdown, and then if you click enter, it'll shut down your server. It'll say the server has been shut down. It saved everything, and I found a rainbow tie. But anyway, guys, that's about it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I really hope it helped you. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe and check out these tutorial videos if you haven't seen before. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.